Let's make a clown belt chain because for some reason I'm obsessed with clowns and I don't know why. It's a new obsession. Okay, so first you're going to take some shrink plastic and you're going to draw your clown. Doesn't have to be complicated. This one's actually super simple, super easy. It's literally a circle and a circle and a circle and then some diddle daddles and that's it. Literally another circle and another circle and another circle. And then an X because I don't know. I just like the way it looks. And then another circle. Ta-da! Once you have it all drawn out, I made a few of them so that, if I mess up, I'll have like spares or whatever. So when you cut them out, I like to use smaller scissors because it's just easier to cut it out. You have to just be super, super careful because, well, obviously before it's shrunken down, it's going to break really easily. Ta-da! Then I like to use a heat gun. You can bake it, but I feel like using a heat gun is so much easier to have control over it. Now, something that nobody told me, no matter, like I looked at so many YouTube videos, so many TikTok videos, and I was so discouraged when I first started doing shrink plastic because you really have to trust the process. You really have to because it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look like it's going well. Start with the edges, especially if it's a bigger piece. And also practice with smaller pieces if you've never done it before. But if it's a bigger piece, you want to just go all the way around the edge. You also don't want to keep the heat gun on one spot for too long because you're going to have a big gaping hole that you just melt all the way through. Then you really did mess it up. But anyways, I use the ruler to make sure things don't stick together. And then there it is. Yay! And of course, the other ones I had to shrink down as well. I intentionally made them different sizes because I wasn't sure what size I wanted. So then once you have it all out, you're going to just, paint it. I'm using paint markers. I also use a regular acrylic paint. It depends on like how detailed it is, but this is such a simple drawing that, this would be like a lot quicker and it dries so fast that I love paint markers. And I don't use Posca. I don't use anything expensive like that because I'm painting it afterwards. I don't have to worry about it shrinking with it or anything like that. And it will still look nice and glossy and pretty afterwards. This is exactly why I made 3 because I couldn't figure out what to paint the collars. So I painted them all different colors with all different polka dot colors because I didn't know what to do for the collars at all. I don't usually make the collars, but I figured it would hold on well to what I was making. And they all look cute. And then some colorful pendants to hang on the chain. And of course, the colorful chains. The customer wanted the dark blue chain. So then you get some acrylic sealer, and this makes it nice and glossy and what makes the paint not scratch off and stuff like that. And I love it. It looks so pretty. Sometimes I do use resin to give it like a bubble feel, but I thought this would look better as more of like a flat type pendant. And then I'm sealing them all, and it dries super fast. Okay, so you need some lobster clasps, some key rings, and the chains, the pendants all made. You got it all there. Now you just need some 2 pliers and some small rings to connect everything together. This was the first time making this ever, so I didn't really know how it was going to turn out or what it was going to look like. It was just something that I had in my head because a customer was like, I want a clown themed belt chain. And I was like, oh, yes. And this was like one of the thousands ideas that I had. So now what I'm doing is I'm connecting it to the key ring and then putting the lobster clasp on the key ring. I apologize that the camera is kind of all over the place. I was kind of in the zone and focused on getting it put together. I also have like small tutorials on how to use these rings on my YouTube if you don't know how to use them. It's very simple though. You just take one plier and hold it very tightly. You take the other plier and you open it by turning it to the left or to the right. Never outwards, just always to the left or the right. You hook it onto the hole. You put the chain on or whatever, the pendant that you're going to put. Then you take the other plier and you wiggle it together. You don't want to just like move it back because it won't work, especially with these ones because they're very, very strong. And then you have it all hooked up. And then you're basically just going to hook all the chains. You can add more chains if you want. You can add less chains if you want. It doesn't really matter as long as you like it. And there's all the chains connected. And you're going to put the lobster clasp on. And then, ta-da, it's all done. This is for a customer due tomorrow. So that's why I didn't put it on a pair of belt loop chains or whatever. But I have other examples of belt loop chains. I also made a matching necklace. Ooh, that was quick.